Alright guys, what's up? Welcome to another one. This one is more of like a personal development video that I wanted to make here, and that is, don't get caught up in the theory. It's really easy to sort of get caught up in theory with stuff where sometimes you just really need to get your feet wet with things, get your hands dirty, so to speak, and just really get into it. And that's how you're going to learn and pick up on whatever you need to pick up on. So, you know, you see it all the time. You might be really enthusiastic about learning something, right? Maybe it's security, maybe it's pretty much anything, right? You might be really, in the beginning, you're really enthusiastic about, yeah, I'm going to learn this skill, I'm going to pick up this skill, I'm going to get really good at it, and this and that. And you're like, all right, I'm going to go online. I don't know where to start yet, right? So obviously I need to know where to start. I got to know what to learn before I can start learning. So then you go online, you go to YouTube, maybe watch some stuff by people that are very proficient at this skill, and you pick up some stuff, you sort of get your roadmap, and then you're like, oh, well, this guy has a book on the subject, I'm going to read that book. And you just get into the book and you're reading the book and you feel like you're making all this progress, but in reality, if you really were to compare, what you actually know, what you can actually do, like what can you actually do? You might know a lot about it. You might feel that you're a lot more knowledgeable, and you might actually be a lot more knowledgeable on something, but you'll realize that you don't actually have any kind of proficiency in the skill that you're trying to learn. And so this is definitely where I say don't get caught up too much in the theory, because there's certain things that you're only going to be able to learn through experience, certain things that you're only going to be able to learn about by doing it. And I guess if I were to really tie this back to security, a lot of people want OSCP, right? A lot of people want, and even myself, I need to go back for it and I need to get it. And if I do that, I would definitely include you guys in that journey. But when it comes to OSCP, a lot of people are afraid to even start, right? Because they're really intimidated by it. They've heard all these crazy things about it, and they're like, all right, I want to make sure that I'm prepared first. I want to make sure that I know what I'm doing before I dive into this. And so the problem they run into is, they might watch a lot of videos about OSCP. They might even learn, like, okay, here's the topics that I need to learn. And then they just watch videos on it and like read articles about it and stuff like that. But if you actually ask them to do a buffer overflow, they would have no idea how to do it. They wouldn't really know how to get a shell on a box or how to enumerate SMB and stuff like that, right? Because they never actually practiced it. They never actually got their hands dirty with doing that stuff. So this is where I say, like, it's really easy to get caught up in theory, but if you truly want to learn something, you got to understand that failure is a necessary part of that process of learning anything. If you look at all the people that are the best, like, the best hackers, the best, chefs, the best, the best, like, baseball players, for example, a diverse set of fields here, right? All of them have failed many times. The baseball player has struck out over and over and over. He's made errors when he's fielding, the line drive, right? He's, the chef, he's made bad dishes. He's overcooked the lobster before. He's made his fair share of errors, right? The guy that's like the great hacker, he spent hours like bashing his head against the wall trying to figure out how to exploit something, and still didn't figure it out, and had to keep going and keep learning, and he's wasted a lot of time on stupid mistakes that he should have been able to recognize right away, right? Every single person, right? And just because you're struggling doesn't mean you don't have a talent for it or you're not going to be able to learn it. One thing you got to realize is a lot of times, when people tell stories, they just tell you the highlights, right? When people are on Instagram and stuff, they show you the highlights. You don't see the struggle behind it, but behind every success is a great struggle. And so you got to keep that in mind. And so you got to not be afraid to fail, to go for it, and to really just, man, these seagulls are loud as hell, but to just really go for it. And, you know, even if you fail, see that as like a learning experience, because from your failures is where you learn the most, really. You learn way more from your failures than your successes. So yeah, go out there and fail. Go try it. Better to try and fail than to just get caught up in theory and just sort of just leave it at that. So yeah, I hope this was of value to you guys, whether you're going for security, OSCP, or maybe something else, maybe some other sort of skill. And yeah, I hope you just go out there and get your hands dirty. Let me know how it goes. I'd love to hear about it, and I will see you guys in the next video.